Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Narayana Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantastvime Lokaha Saptadvipa Chamedini. Hari Om. Good evening on this first World International Meditation Day, as the whole world meditates today together. Let's see these beautiful verses from chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita. We concluded with verse 36 yesterday, and we begin from verse 37 today. So the 36th verse was like Bhagwan Sri Krishna is pointing out to Arjuna in what all ways people will give a very tough time to Arjuna by speaking ill of him, by putting him down, and by talking in a very loose language, which is like, what can be more sorrowful than that, to listen to all this Sambhavitas, especially for a person who has accomplished so much in life. To be spoken ill about is a very hurtful thing. So Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he tries to tell Arjuna. And now, like a true leader, he is pointing out a win-win situation here. Either way you win, so fight the war. Yuddhe punaha kriyamane karnadibihi. If he fights with Karna and others in the war, what will happen? Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshyase mahim tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. Hataha va prapsyasi swargam. Suppose you are killed in this war, Arjuna, you will attain Swarga, because the rules of Sanatana Dharma for a Kshatriya is, if he dies in the battlefield, fighting in the war, then he goes straight to Swargaloka, where everything is very happy, go lucky, like whatever we really want to have, we can have. How much ever we want to enjoy, we can enjoy without fear of having any disease, without fear of death. It is possible in Swargaloka. So if you win in this battle, you will go to Swarga. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Sorry, if you die in this battle, you will go to Swarga. If you win in this battle, what will happen? You will enjoy this whole world, this whole earth that you conquered. You're going to enjoy. You'll be the ruler. Tasmad uttishta. Therefore, Arjuna, get up. Kaunteya, son of Kunti. He is reminding every name that he calls Arjuna brings about the qualities that the name represents. Kunti Putra, Kaunteya, son of Kunti. What is so great about Kunti? She is one who has withstood a lot of turmoils in her life and supported all her 5 children, even when her husband and his other wife Madri died. And with so much of difficulties, with the quality of motherhood, she has been sustaining along with the Pandavas, and she welcomes difficulties in her life. That is Kunti's quality. So being the son of Kunti, get up Arjuna, don't be lolling in misery like this. self-pity. Yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. Now decide to fight the war. Whether you win or you lose, you're going to gain anyway. If you lose, if you die in the war, you will go to heaven. If you win in the war, you're going to enjoy this earth. So get up and fight. How to fight? Tatra yuddham swadharmam iti evam yuddhyamanasya upadesham imam shrunu. So, how should you fight this war? That's also very important. So, Bhagavan teaches here. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Sukha dukkhe same kritva. Make your joys and sorrows even. So the mind loses its capacity to trouble us when we don't get excited by joy and when we don't go down the depths of depression with sorrow. Same kritva. Then what else should be made equal? Labha alabha. Gain and loss. Victory and defeat. Jaya and ajaya. Sukha dukkhe. Labha alabha. Jaya ajaya. These three things, when they are made equal, there will be no disturbance in our mind. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Get ready to fight the battle. Yuddhaya, the battle. Yujyasva. Gather yourself, collect yourself, and get ready to fight the battle. Naivam papam avapsyasi. If you do this, you will not incur sin. Which means, if you don't do this, you will incur sin. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Sukha dukkhe same tulye kritva ragadveshau akritva iti etat. So how to make sukha and dukkha equal? By not having likes and dislikes. If we have like for something, then if we get that thing, we will have sukha. If we have dislike for something and when we get that thing, we will have dukkha or sorrow. So without likes and dislikes, make a level ground of your joys and sorrows. Tatha labha alabhau jaya ajayau cha samau kritva tato yuddhaya yujyasva ghatasva. Make even with gain and loss, victory and defeat, joy and sorrow, and gather yourself for war. Na evam yuddham kurvan papam avapsyasi iti esha upadeshaha prasangikaha. So the teaching here is, if you take up the war in this manner, you will not incur any sin. इह हि दर्शिनः पुनः शास्त्रविषयविभागे उपरिष्टात् ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम् इति निष्ठाद्वयविषयं शास्त्रं सुखं प्रवर्तिष्यते श्रोतारः च विषयविभागेन सुखं ग्रहीष्यति इति अत आह. So, where has this been said? Earlier, this has been said in the Shastras, which Bhagavan is quoting here. Esha te bhihita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma baldham prahasyasi. Esha te abhihita sankhye. This has been, that is, this method of keeping the joys and sorrows, gain and loss, victory and defeat equal. It has been mentioned in Sankhya, in Atma Tattva, in the knowledge of the self. Esha buddhihi. This kind of a thought has been expressed in Sankhya. Abhihita, it has been told, Yaya buddhya yuktaha karma bandham prahasyasi yoge tu imam shrunu. So if you unite with this thought and do your work, you will not be bound by the action. That is, if you are not keeping your joy and sorrow in balance by entertaining likes and dislikes, when you don't keep your victory and defeat in balance, when you don't keep your gain and loss in balance, then the work that you do will bind you. The work that will do will begin to play with you. So karma bandha means when the work binds you, that's called karma bandha. If you are not doing it in balance without fear or favor, joy or sorrow, or gain or loss, victory or defeat, despite that you do work, the work will not bind you, else the work will bind you. Now, this is Sankhya from the knowledge perspective, from how our thought process should be, how we should maintain a balance in our thinking process. Now, yoga to Imam Shrunu. Now, the talk is about yoga is giving up the whole work to Ishvara. Yoga means surrendering the doership and the results of the action to Ishvara. Yoge tu tat prapti upaye nisangataya dvandva prahana purvakam Ishvara aradhanarthe karma yoge karma anushtane samadhi yoge cha imam anantaram eva uchyamanam buddhim shrunu. I have spoken to you about the Sankhya Buddhi, or the thought of knowledge, where you keep everything equal. Now, I am going to talk to you about Yoga Buddhi, where you offer the work to the divine, where you offer the work to the Ishvara, offer the doership to the Ishvara, and offer the results also to Ishvara. And Samadhi Yoga, where you quieten the mind, where you steady the mind. I am going to talk about this now. Kimcha Anyat. What else am I going to say? Neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Naiha, when you follow this path of karma yoga, of offering your actions to Ishvara, considering that Ishvara is the doer, not I, and then offering the results of the action also to Ishvara, who is the doer, na iha abhikrama nashaha asti. There is no sequential loss here. Everything goes very smoothly. There are times in our life when we just go about doing great things and everything happens so smoothly. There is no kramanasha. There is no dip and fall somewhere. There is no slipping somewhere. There is no shouting somewhere. Everything is very beautiful and flows seamlessly. So there is no abhikrama nashaha. There is no destruction in the sequential flow of events here. Pratyavayaha na vidyate. There are also not omissions. When you do it in this manner, when you offer your actions to the divine, and when you consider that the divine is only working through you, and whatever results that you may get, whether good or bad, joy or sorrow, victory or defeat, gain or loss, you offer it to the divine only. Pratyavayaha na vidyate. There is no question of omissions here. And what is this? What is the greatness of this? Swalpamapi, even a little bit of this dharma, of this style of doing your duties, trayate mahato bhayat. It protects us from very, very great fear. What is the greatest fear? Kim tu bhavati swalpamapi asya yoga dharmasya anushtitam trayate rakshati mahataha samsara bhayat janma maranadi lakshanat. Bhagavan Adisankaracharya says, when you follow even a little bit, so if you want to overcome the fear of samsara, fear of being born and being dying, and then enduring the difficulties in between birth and death, if we want to let go of that fear, then follow the path of karma yoga. Even a little bit you follow, that will protect you from this fear of birth and death. Ya iyam sankhye buddhihi ukta yoge cha vakshamana lakshana sa. So what is this? Sankhya buddhi has been told. Now in yoga is identification with the action that we do, and doing it very well is yoga. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakhakhyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Hey Kuru Nandana, hey Arjuna, who was born in the dynasty of the Kurus, Ika, in this Nishkamya Yoga, Karma Yoga, where there is no desire at all, there is no individual personal desire to achieve something in this Karma Yoga, Vyavasayatmika Buddhihi, the intellect becomes very firm, very decisive, very clear. Ekahi avyavasayinam. It becomes one-pointed, focused. Avyayasayinam buddhayaha bahushakhahi anantascha. People who do not make their intellect one-pointed, people who do not concentrate on the work and make their mind focused through the concentration of the work, their intellects are many pronged, multi pronged, meaning it is lost here, lost there, trying to do something here, taking up something here, dropping it halfway, going, pursuing some other shiny object syndrome. So everything is in bits and pieces and in patches in their life. And their intellect also is avyavasayinam. It is not a very well cultured intellect. Vyavasaya also means farming. Vyavasaya also means giving the culture to the intellect, giving the culture to the thought pattern, where the thought pattern remains very focused. Avyavasayinam buddhayaha bahushakhaha hi anantascha. Indeed, it is endlessly multi-pronged. Day in and day out, they are always lost. They are consistently lost if they don't cultivate their intellect. So he tells Arjuna, cultivate your intellect, stay focused on your work, and do what you need to do in the present moment. Don't keep thinking about this and that, somebody else's duties, somebody else's responsibilities. Don't give up something, run away behind something else, thinking there's some great glory there. There's no glory anywhere else except in standing on your feet and doing your duty and cultivating your intellect and staying focused. Yaha punaha itara buddhayaha yasam shakha beda pracharanat pracharavashat anantaha aparaha anuparataha samsaraha nityapratato vistirno bhavati prana janita viveka buddhi nimittavashat cha uparatasu ananta bheda buddhishu samsaraha api uparamate. So, when the intellect is contained, intellect which is nothing but prana, the energy is contained, then samsara will cease to be. Samsara means birth and death and change and modification will cease to be in our life. When the buddhi is not contained in this manner, it is just let to go in any way it pleases, then samsara does not cease to be. We have to go through the forces of samsara. Esham vyavasayatmika buddhihi nasti. So those people who don't have this cultured and very well cultivated intellect, what happens to them? There are three verses which are having a similar thread of meaning. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitaha vedavadaratav partha nanyadastiti vadinaha kamatmana swargapara janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadhau na vidhiyate. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about people who do not have a well cultivated intellect and they go behind their desires. What do they say? Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti Avipaschitaha. People who are not very well read, who do not know with clarity who they are, who do not have the distinct intellect which shows the difference between who am I and what is not I, avipashitaha, pushpitam vacham vadanti. They speak in very flowery language. They quote from the Vedas and they say, if you do this, you will get that swarga. If you do this putra kameshti yajna, you will get satputras, you will get good children. Then you will get married. If you will get a lot of money. All these things they say, they quote. Vedavada rataha partha. From the Vedas, they pick up these parts where if you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will get this. They quote all that and create desires in your mind. And they say there's nothing beyond all this. You do this, you will get this. There is nothing, no world beyond the Swarga Loka. So, like this, people talk. How they talk like this? What is the reason they talk like this? Kamatmanaha. They are all very desirous. They want to, they're always chasing some goal or the other. And their desire is to be in Swarga. Swarga means in a very heavenly abode where whatever we want, we get. How much ever we want, we can take and we can enjoy without fear of death, without fear of disease, without fear of any disturbance. Swarga is the place where everybody is of a same mindset. Even my earth is not such kind of a place. In the earth, we have different kinds of people with the different mentalities. People even to stand as our enemies, fight with us, fight against us. Some people who may like us, some people who may love us, some people who hate us, some people who are our well-wishers, some people who are our ill-wishers. We have all kinds of people on earth. But in Swarga, how we are, we have the same kind of people around us, so we don't know any difference. Swarga para. And what will this give? What is the fruit of this? These kind of actions, by desire-filled actions, wanting to go to Swarga, Janma karma phala pradam. It gives Janma, it gives birth. Once Janma is given, you have to endure many things. And when you are enduring many things, you cannot avoid action. You have to do actions. Karma phala pradam. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. Different kinds of actions you do to perpetrate your interest, to perpetrate your joys, to perpetrate your desires. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. Why do they do? Bhoga Aishwarya. They want to enjoy more and they want to gain leadership. Bhoga is enjoyment. It also means suffering. So to counter the suffering, you want Ishwaratvam, where you have only Sukha, where you have only joy and you don't need to experience sorrow. When you are in the position of a leader, you can always avoid sorrowful things. So that's the idea behind leadership. Bhoga Aishwarya Gatim Prati. So towards that end, people want to do many actions. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. And where do they find the source for these actions? Resource material for these actions are given in the Vedas. And they talk greatly about that and they say there's nothing beyond this. You do this, you get this, you enjoy, you live life. Bhogeshwarya Prasaktana. Once they experience many things and they experience control and leadership over situations, Taya Apakrita Chetasam. The mind is snatched away by this bhoga. The more and more we enjoy, the more and more the mind becomes dull. Bhoga is rajas, enjoyment, where you are in action. The more and more we enjoy, comfort comes as a guest and stays on to become the host. Swami Chinmaya ji says this. The more and more we enjoy, the more and more the mind will become dull. When the mind becomes dull, the body becomes dull, and then you enter into a state of tamas. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam. Aishwarya is leadership, wanting to be a master of situations, a controller of situations, where you want to control the whole world, you want to control your surroundings, you want to control the people around you, and you're attached to that control. You cannot detach from that after a long time. Aishwarya Prasakta. People who are attached to that Ishwaratva and Bhoga, taya apahrita chetasam. Their mind has been snatched away by these two qualities. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadhauna vidhiyate. They do not know any kind of a peace. Samadhi means samyak adhiyate manaha iti samadhihi, where the mind settles down in peace. They are not able to know any peace of mind because they are engaged in desires, they are engaged in controlling the situations, and they want to enjoy life, they want to enjoy the heavens, and towards that direction they engage in a lot of actions. So the kamatmanaha, kamasvabhavaha, kamapara ityartaha, swargaparaha, swargaparaha, paraha purushartaha esham, te swargaparaha. Swargaparaha means Swarga is the greatest aim or goal in life for them. Swarga pradhana janma karma phala pradam. Karmanaha phalam karma phalam. So when Swarga is the main goal in life, then that will give birth, because Swarga is not a place where you have permanent residence. You have to enjoy, and as long as you have visa and as long as you have currency, foreign exchange, then you can enjoy in the country. When the foreign exchange is over and your visa period is over, you have to come back to your own country. In the same way, the currency for Swargaloka is punya, and the visa period is the stock of punya. When it is over, the visa period ends and you come back to earth. Swarga pradhana janma karma phala pradam. So janma, you are born again and then you have to do actions. Phala pradam, karma phalam, janma karma phalam tat pradadati iti janma karma phala pradatam vacham pravadanti iti anushajyate. So these people talk about the different Vedic rituals and rites which only give us further reasons for being born. So what should you do, Arjuna? This is all not for you. This kind of a attitude of doing work for the sake of results and for the sake of enjoying is not for you. Ya evam viveka buddhi rahitaha tesham kamatmanam. So these people do not have viveka. They do not have the sense of discrimination of who am I and what is not I. And so they are running after their desires. So how should you be? Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Satvasthaha Niryogakshema Atmavan. Arjuna, be free of all these qualities which are there in the Vedas. The Vedas is filled with three gunas: Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Activities that promote Sattva guna, activities that promote Rajoguna, activities that promote Tamoguna. Vedas are full of that. You be Nistraigunyaha. You be beyond the three gunas. Don't be either Sattva or Rajas or Tamas. You be yourself. You be your own true self, which is beyond all gunas. Nistraigunyaha. Nirdvandvaha. Bhava. Bhava is a common word. Nistraigunyo bhava. Nirdvandvo bhava. Nityasattvastaha bhava. Niryogakshema bhava. Atmavan bhava. Nistraigunyo bhava. Be free of all the three qualities of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Nirdvandvo bhava. Be free of the dualities of I and my, you and yours, them and it and they, and she and he, or mine, I and mine. All these are the dualities of life. Be free of all that. Be as consciousness. Nirdvandvo bhava. Nitya sattvastaha bhava. Don't be in the temporary sattva guna, which will fall into rajoguna or tamoguna, but ever be in nitya sattvasta. Always be in sattva guna alone. Don't go down into the other gunas, rajas and tamas. Nir yoga kshema bhava. Yoga kshema means Yoga is attaining what I don't have, is yoga. Kshema is maintaining what I have attained, is kshema. You be free of this work of attaining. You first of all don't have desires, and don't try to fulfill your desires by having the objects of your desires. Niryoga. Niryoga kshema. Then if you don't have, there is nothing to protect. So be free of yoga and kshema. Atmavan bhava. Atmavan bhava means be steady, be apramatta. Don't be a fallible person. Don't be a person who just skids in life. Be steady, do your duty, do your duty, do your sadhana, daily practices. Keep your focus on the goal and move towards the goal. That is Atmavan bhava. त्रैगुण्य विषय त्रैगुण्यम संसारो विषयः प्रकाशयितव्यः येषां ते वेदाः. The Vedas talk about the three gunas, which are nothing but changing, and one-upmanship over the other. The sattva guna rides over the rajoguna, rajoguna tries to ride over the sattva guna, rajoguna rides over the tamoguna, tamoguna tries to ride over the rajoguna, sattva guna rides over tamoguna, and tamoguna rides over sattva guna. So it's a permutation combination of a wavy motion of one-upmanship pulling the other down. That is the nature of these three gunas. So be free of all that. You don't need to be caught in that net of gunas. Nirdvandvaha samadukha sukha hetu sapratipakshau padarthau dvandva shabda vachyau tataha nirgataha nirdvandvaha bhava. Nitya sattvastaha yada sattva guna shrito bhava. Only sattva guna, and don't stand on the side of joy or sorrow. Just be in the center, so you become you become equanimous in the sight of joy and sorrow. Niryoga kshema anupatasya upadanam yoga upatasya rakshanam kshemaha. Anupatasya, what I don't have, when I try to get it, it's called yoga. And what I have got, maintaining it is kshema. Yoga kshema pradhanasya shreyasi pravrittihi dushkara iti ataha niryoga kshemo bhava. So the one who is caught in yoga and kshema, he cannot live a life of the highest truth, of the highest goal of liberation. That is not possible when you are chasing after things in life, and after you gain them, you are spending your energy in protecting them. There are many books on minimalism these days, and everything is talking about not wanting anything, not keeping anything, because life becomes very simple when you don't have to maintain many things. Otherwise, you keep your house full of things, and all your energy is wasted in maintaining them, dusting them, polishing them. If you don't do all that, then whatever you have around you will start giving you a disturbed state of mind. So, niryoga-kshema bhava, atmavan apramattaha cha bhava, eshaha tava upadeshaha, swadharmam anutishthataha. So, this is the upadesha. Atmavan means apramattaha. Don't be lax in your anusthana, in your daily activities, whatever you need to follow, whatever you are following, whatever you need to do. So, sarveshu vedokteshu karmasu yani anantani palani tani na apekshante chet kimartham tani ishwaraya iti anushtiyante iti uchyate. When people do actions without expecting results, then for what reasons they don't expect results for themselves? What for you have to offer to Ishvara? What is the need to do all that? Yavan Artha, why those people are offering their actions to Ishvara? What is it? Why are they doing that? Yavan Artha Udapane Sarvata Samplutodake Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanatah. The Brahmana or the Brahmanishta Purusha, the one who is established in the truth, Vijanataha, the one who knows this truth, So what is the condition of the Vedas in their life? The Vedas give many gifts. If I want something, if I do some yajna or havan, I will get what I want. That is a gift that the Veda gives us. But what of these gifts for the people who have known the truth of Brahman? What is their standard regarding the Vedas? Yavan artha udapane sarvataha samplatodake. That much of need there is for a well of water. When there is no water surrounding the well, we can always go to the well and take water for drinking or bathing. But when the well has been surrounded by river water, flood water around, what is the use of going to a well and taking water from inside? In the same way, Brahmanasya Vijanataha, the one who knows the truth, that much only, like the well surrounded by ocean, this Vedas are surrounded by Brahman everywhere. So the one who knows the Brahman need not go to the Vedas to quench his desires in this earth, in this world. That much only importance the Vedas have for the person of self-realization, which means he is encouraging Arjuna to go beyond the Vedic literature, go beyond the dependence on the Vedic literature for entertaining desires and getting the desires fulfilled in this life and living a repeated pattern of samsara. Tasmat prag jnananishta adhikara praptehe कर्मणि अधिकृतेन कूप तडागादि अर्थस्थानीयम अपि कर्म कर्तव्यम. So even when there is everything that you desire is there, like the flooded river and the well, whatever you desire, everything is there. Even then, that person should engage in action. That is what Bhagavan says here. Karman yevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Karmani eva. Your job is only in action. Adhikaraha. You have authority only over doing action. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Not in the results of the action. There is no control. You don't have any control over the results of the action. A student has authority only to study for the examination and write the examination. The student does not have the authority to fix the results for the examination. Fix the results or even expect a particular result for the examination, because there is no authority there. There is no control in that place. Karmani eva adhikarahate. You have adhikara. You can do something only about action, not about the results of action. Kadachana, at any point of time. So, Arjuna, don't waste your time in life by being a karma phala hetuhu, going behind the fruits of actions, chasing the results of action, meaning not focusing on the action, but dreaming about the results, guessing the results, speculating the results, wanting particular results, and imagining these results happening, spending time in imagination rather than actual action. Ma karma phala hetuhu bhuhu. At the same time, I don't have any control over the results of the action. I have control only over the action. I don't have any control over the results. Then why should I do action? This thought will come. At the same time, mate sangahatu akarmani. Don't have any attachment or don't have identification with inaction. Don't be a lazy person. Be a very dynamic and active person. Do work, do great work, do inspiring work, but do it without attaching yourself to the result of the action, and because you have authority only to act. It is a very, very simple statement. We have our business stops with doing what we are supposed to do, doing what we need to do. Our job stops there. We have nothing to do beyond that. We cannot manipulate anything in this world. We cannot create particular results to come after we have done the action. We have to be able to put our energy into the action. And when we put our energy into the action, that energy that is put itself will bring the right results. The enthusiasm that is put in the action will bring the best results. We don't need to worry about the when Bhagwan says don't worry about the results, it means it is not that bad results are going to come. When you put all your energy into the action and not sparing anything to worry about the future, put everything into the action, then of course the best result only is going to come. कर्मणि एव अधिकारः न ज्ञाननिष्ठायां ते तव तत्र च कर्म कुर्वतः मा फलेषु अधिकारः अस्तु कर्मफलतृष्णा मा भूत् कदाचन कस्यांश्चिदपि अवस्थायाम् इत्यर्थः. So he tells Arjuna, कर्मणि एव अधिकारस्ते means not only in doing the action. You don't have any authority over knowledge, meaning knowledge has not been grasped by you yet. The thought has not become steady. The thought about the self is not very clear, not very steady. So you don't get into that area. You stay focused on doing action. That is only your path, Arjuna. He is telling Arjuna his path. Na jnana nishtayam. Karma kurvataha. Even when you do action, don't be attached to the results of the action. Astu karmapala trishna mabhut kadachana. At any point of time, don't be attached to the results of the action. At the same time, karmapala yada karmapale trishna te syat tada karmapala praptehe hetuhu syat evam ma karmapala hetuhu bhuhu. Don't be attached to the fruits of the action. Yada hi karmapala trishna prayuktaha karmani pravarte tada karmapalasya eva janmanaha hetu bhavet. Why you don't go after the fruits of the action? Because the results of the action will give further janma. So don't focus your attention there. Take your attention away from that and put it into the action. Yadi karmaphalam na ishyate kim karmana dukkha rupena iti ma te tava sangaha astu akarmani akarane pritihi ma bhuta. So when I don't have any control over the results of the action, then why should I do this karma? Why should I do this action which is only sorrow? To do anything, to any movement, we always like holidays. We always like to relax. Even in office, we like those moments when we don't have anything to do. That is our nature. So if doing work is giving us sorrow, if I don't have any control over the results of the action, then why should I do work? The thought will come. At the same time, akarani pritihi ma bhut. Akarmani, don't be attached to, don't have liking for not doing anything. Engage in good action. How should you engage? Yadi karma phala prayuktena na kartavyam karma katham tarhi kartavyam iti. So when it is said here that don't act according to the desired results of actions, don't do actions, don't manage your actions according to the results that you are going to get or according to the results that you desire. Don't try to do something expecting some particular result. If you are not supposed to do like that, then how are you supposed to do action? That's this 48th verse. These two verses are very important in the Bhagavad Gita, like Karma Sutras, Karma Yoga Sutras. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani. Here the word yogastha, being in yoga, standing in yoga. Yoga means united with the divine. For whose sake I am doing this work? I am doing it for the sake of Ishvara. Ishvarartham tatra api Ishvaraha me tushyato iti sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Don't have any particular results for the action for myself. Say, why am I doing this work? I am doing it for the sake of Ishvara. It is the same as I am playing for the sake of country. I am engaging in this battle for the sake of my country. I am on the call of duty for the sake of my country. I am doing for the sake of my family. Ishvara is a larger picture. The larger picture, work for the larger picture and not for your selfish ends. That is what yoga, working in yoga means not working for your own self, but working for the bigger picture, working for the greater goal, for the higher good. Sangam tyaktva, leave your attachment to the results of the action, stand in yoga, meaning offer your actions to Ishvara and do work. How should you do work? Dhananjaya, he says, Arjuna's name, you have gathered wealth from many places. You are a great gatherer of wealth. Siddhi asiddhayoho samo bhutva. When you do some work, you might get success, meaning the mind will become quiet. That is the success when we do work. We do work only for one reason, to quieten the mind and make the mind one pointed. So, siddhi means when the mind becomes quiet, that is successful. Asiddhi, when the mind is not quiet despite doing the work. Have both on an equal note, like samo bhutva, keep it equal. Your expectation of success out of the work and failure out of the work, keep it equal. Samo bhutva. Why should you keep it equal? What is yoga? Samatvam yoga uchyate. Balance of mind is yoga. Balance of mind means when the mind is not tilted in terms of success, excited about success, and disgusted about failure, when there is no movement in the mind, when the mind is in a state of balance, that is called yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastaha san kuru karmani kevalam ishwarartham tatra api ishvaro me tushyatu iti sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Ishvaraha me tushyatu. May Ishvara be pleased with me. That is the only purpose for which you may do action, Arjuna. Phalatrishna shunyena kriyamane karmani sattva shuddhija jnana prapti lakshana siddhihi tad viparyaja asiddhihi tayo siddhya siddhyoho api samaha tulyaha bhutva kuru karmani. Phala trishna shunyena, without attachment to results of the action. Kriyamane karmani sattva shuddhija, when the mind is purified and it becomes fit for gaining knowledge, that is called siddhi, that is called success. Tat viparyaja, when the mind is not quiet, then it is asiddhi. Whether the mind is quiet or the mind is not quiet, siddhi asiddhayoho api tulyaha bhutva, take it on a stride, take it equally, kuru karmani, do your actions. Kaha asau yoge yatrastaha kuru iti uktam idam etad siddhi asiddhayoho samatvam yoga uchyate. So what is this? Why should you do work despite success or failure? Because that is only called yoga. Yoga means being same, being balanced in success and in failure. Success means the mind becomes quiet. Failure means the mind still continues to be disturbed. We will see the next 7 verses tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.